My next guest sold his first business at age 18 for $40 million, and his second business, Blue Lithium, to Yahoo for $300 million cash at the age of 26. He's in Sydney this week interviewing candidates for his RadiumOne's expansion in Australia. I'm joined in the studio by serial entrepreneur Gurbaksh Chahal. Did I get the pronunciation right?
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming. So tell us about RadiumOne first.
Sure. Well, all three of my companies have been about advertising. And my last company, Blue Lithium, was trying to say, how do you add behavioral advertising into the online world? So if you just saw a car, regardless of what website you're on, let's show you a car ad. What RadiumOne is doing is with the world of everything becoming about social and sharing and so forth, with the 10 to 15 billion things that are being shared every day, we basically say, who do you share the most with? And let's go ahead and show them like-minded ads. So it's basically using your social graph to figure out what ads people are probably going to respond to.
So tell us how it actually works. It sounds great in principle, but how do you make that sort of thing happen?
Well, a lot of this stuff happens behind the scenes, just like most advertising companies on the internet. It's not like a consumer-facing thing, but let's say you're on a website and you look at a bunch of options.
So it's a finance website.
That's a finance website.
So you know that person wants finance.
Yeah, great article. I want to share this on my Facebook or Twitter. You post it, and then whoever clicks on it, we basically are able to go and figure out that as your social graph in terms of the people that you send information to, your influencers, and the people that are influenced by that. Yeah. So connect those dots together, and we basically say the chances are if you like the same articles, you probably like the same advertising.
And so what, you then send them ads while they're reading that article?
On different sites throughout the internet. So if you're already a Nike customer and you sent me an article, chances are I might also be a Nike customer and might see an ad of Nike on another site.
Is there any? Did you have any sort of invasion of privacy issues? Because to me, it sounds a bit like 1984 and Brave New World, in the sense you're assessing what people are like, and then you're delivering an advertisement that is relevant to them.
Sure.
Was there any question marks over that when you first did this?
No. I mean, this is all cookie based, so basically it's all about just we're not storing anything. We don't know what your name is. We don't know anything about that.
It's just where the eyes go to. Therefore, you just.
It's basic.
It's like turning up. It's like ambush marketing in a sense, isn't it? Like I go to the football and you turn up with a sign. We're saying, buy your football boots at so and so.
That's right.
It's just linking it. Yeah,
that's right.
But doing it on the internet. So where did the idea come from?
Well, advertising has been kind of my experience as well as my desire to make it better over the years. So after my non-compete expired and I could get back into display advertising, I started RadiumOne with picking up where it left off, which is outside of behavioral advertising now. What is the next big evolution? And with social becoming that next big thing, we basically started that in 2009. And have had a tremendous success in the U.S. We opened up our European expansion, have had tremendous success there, and now we're looking at basically launching in Australia later this year.
Okay, so basically that kind of service will be operating on Australian websites effectively sometime this year?
Matter of probably 60, 90 days, yeah.
Okay. And how many people are you employing?
Worldwide, we have about over 120 now.
Yeah.
So we'll probably be at 200 by the end of the year.
Okay. So what explains your entrepreneurial zeal for something like this? Is it the internet that drove you there, or were you an entrepreneur just looking for the next big thing, and obviously you could see it was the internet?
Well, I started becoming an entrepreneur at 16, so I don't think when you're 16 you kind of have no element of fear. So you don't know what you're really doing, which is actually a good thing.
Yes.
Because it lets you go ahead and map out your journey the way you want it. Versus kind of, the older you get, the more probably risk adverse you end up becoming. So I can kind of say when I started things off, I probably didn't know what I was doing, which probably was a good thing. But now I kind of know what I'm doing, and I'm just trying to perfect it better along the way.
Okay. Obviously, you have a feeling about what's going on in the U.S. economy. Are things getting better, do you think?
Yes. I believe there's obviously going to be the ups and downs, and from jobs, at least in Silicon Valley per se, it's largely been unaffected.
Yeah.
So if you kind of say, okay, has the housing market crashed? I mean, worldwide, it's kind of had an impact. Is the car industry coming back? It's showing signs of that. But when you look at the broader internet sector, I mean, that hasn't slowed down. So technology, Apple, for example, Facebook, etc., all these companies that revolve around the cutting edge of stuff and that are actually making things better are not slowing down.
Gurbaksh, I'm sorry we're out of time. Next time you're in Australia, make sure you come. We'll give you a much longer story.
No, thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us in the program.
Thanks.
That was Gurbaksh Chahal from RadiumOne. That's the show for tonight. Thanks for joining us. I'll see you tomorrow night.